You're watching The World According to Dwyan. Storms test us. History explains why. Communities show what we do next. Across the Caribbean and the diaspora, the map we inherited still shapes how hard hurricanes hit. Old ports, dense lowlands, and fragile power grids are legacies that make new storms feel personal. When Melissa moved through Houston, people did not wait for someone else to fix it. Neighbors showed up with chainsaws, tarps, and hot meals. The first responders are still us. In Jamaica, the headlines were a living room. Water stood where memories should be. Even there, you can hear the tempo of recovery. Check on Auntie. Patch the roof, pass the bucket, pray, repeat.
One of the growing concerns is that cholera could be knocking on the door here. That is because of the lack of access to clean and running water. What are your concerns with the fact that, especially in this area of the island, there is still not running water?
I am, of course, concerned about waterborne illnesses, cholera. I am so concerned that kids are going to get sick because there is not enough water safe water to drink, water to wash hands, water to prepare meals safely. So those are obvious concerns that we're having.
When the winds fade, the bills arrive. Let us talk about money. The price tag keeps moving. At work, at dinner, and even in headlines. Wendy's is closing locations in multiple cities. For some blocks, that is more than a menu change. It is jobs, late-night lights, and a piece of the neighborhood going dark.
Wendy's plans to close hundreds of underperforming restaurants across the country. The move comes as budget-conscious consumers are cutting back on spending due to inflation. Wendy's currently has more than 6,000 locations in the U.S. The company has not said which locations are targeted for closing. This round of closures comes on top of the chain closing 240 restaurants last year.
Meanwhile, no tax on tips sounds good. Then the bill arrives with a service fee for large groups. It is a different line on the receipt. It is the same extra dollars leaving your pocket. On the roads, a lawsuit asks whether women-only ride options are for safety or for segregation. The companies say protection. Drivers say unequal rules. The court will decide. People are also talking about $2,000 in dividend checks. It is a proposal, not a payout. File it under idea, not deposit. Diddy is also in the news. A neutral update. An intake photo circulated. Inside, he has a chapel job assignment. Headlines continue. Rules, rights, and representation turn headlines into daily life.
President Trump threatening a $1 billion lawsuit against the BBC, accusing the British public broadcaster of intentionally and deceitfully editing his speech from January 6th in a documentary that aired just ahead of the 2024 election. Here's what the documentary showed.
We're going to walk down to the Capitol, and I'll be there with you, and we fight. We fight like hell. And if you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore.
And here's the original, starting off the same.
We're going to walk down to the Capitol, and we're going to cheer on our brave senators and congressmen and women.
But the next part of the speech was actually almost an hour later.
And we fight. We fight like hell. And if you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore.
In a letter to the BBC obtained by NBC News, the president's legal team demanding you immediately retract the false, defamatory, disparaging, and inflammatory statements made about President Trump. The BBC's chairman, Samir Shah, today apologizing.
The apologizing is for the way the team edited President Trump's speech to his supporters on January the 6th.
And acknowledging the edit made it seem the president made a direct call for violence. Can the president sue a British broadcaster in a U.S. court?
A foreign corporation and a foreign broadcaster can be sued in the United States so long as there's enough of a connection. The fact that the BBC is broadcast in the U.S. is enough.
Do you think the president has a case?
The president does seem to have a case, and a lot of that is based on admissions that were made by the BBC. They admitted that the edit did look as if it were a call to violence.
Meanwhile, the Senate moved to avoid a shutdown. The House still has to land the plane. Government on a timer is never a peaceful soundtrack. Here is a hard story from the platform era. A driver live-streamed on TikTok. A pedestrian died. The question is not only what happened. The question is what we allow on the feed while it happens. And now, some notable wins. An HBCU professor beat the prison pipeline and earned a doctorate. From a cell to scholarship, the curriculum was redemption.
A 22-year-old is set to make history in Stockbridge, Georgia, which is about 20 miles away from Atlanta. Here's why. Jaden Williams, who's a senior at Clark Atlanta University studying political science, will be the youngest mayor of Stockbridge the city has ever seen. This comes after he upseated incumbent mayor Anthony Ford by 420 votes. Now get this, before he's sworn into office in January, Will Williams will be graduating from Clark Atlanta University in December.
The sun may have set over our city this evening, but as Eugene Debs once said, I can see the dawn of a better day for humanity.
A Muslim democratic socialist with a degree in Africana studies moved from organizing to governing. For 25 years, the Delta Dream flight has lifted first-time flyers into the blue. Altitude can be a first taste of possibility. In Botswana, a golden passport opens new doors.
I think the hot commodity in the next 10 years is going to be an African passport. Have a passport from an African country. People may laugh at you now, but you are going to see amazing investment opportunities. Having a citizenship in some African country is going to make it easier for you to bank and invest and be a part of what I think is going to be one of the greatest investment stories of this century. There are now forced citizenship by investment programs in Africa. You can go and make a donation or make an investment. They will give you a passport, and then you will be in the club and you will have a higher level of access to everything that's happening in Africa, as I believe the countries on the continent increasingly come together to drive Pan-African trade.